all the states. They selected who their candidates are going to be through their delegates. It's up to the delegates now. And so even right now, under the current process, would-be candidates, the people who want to be president of the United States, will have to get signatures, at least 300 signatures, no more than 600 from those delegates, because those delegates are now going to be released, no longer completely bound to President Biden. And so we may see a couple of contenders step forward, even though we know who President Biden wants to be, his successor.
It's risky for some of these other contenders to step forward right now, isn't it? Because they don't want to risk getting on Kamala Harris's bad side if she ends up being the nominee. But at the same time, they might think, hey, this is my moment to make a run for this. How do you balance that as a potential candidate here?
Yeah, these candidates are looking at a couple things, and it is very complicated. One, if she ends up winning, they're not going to be the ones that challenge her. But there's also a big question about where the donations are going to go that have already been given to the Biden-Harris ticket. That is a big question right now. A machine is in place. Funding has been secured. And if she is not the candidate, where does that money go? These other candidates are going to need a lot of money and a lot of name ID in a very short amount of time.
Is the Trump campaign celebrating this, or are they dreading a new candidate?
Well, I think it's really uncertain. There are some candidates they would love to be there on the ticket. The Trump campaign was really looking forward to it being President Biden because the polling was showing him up. But to the level that they are excited or have to have a new strategy really depends on who that person is that comes forward. If it is Kamala Harris, that's a name they know. It's a name they've already been polling about.
What kind of machinery goes into place, and what kind of motion do we see behind the scenes on a campaign, both from the Democrats and then from the Republicans too? Because the GOP now has to completely change their attack, right?
Well, it's completely right. And it is an enormous machine, raising money, mobilizing people in every single state. And it's not just state by state. Sometimes it's county by county. There is an army of people who are put forward to try to help these candidates become president of the United States. And right now for the Democrats, they're trying to evaluate whether or not they have enough time, if it's someone other than the Vice President, Kamala Harris, but they are evaluating now. What they want is the White House. So they're trying to see what candidate can be put forward that can beat Donald Trump.
And just in the seconds we have left, Mr. Perry, when you heard the news break, what was going through your mind when you saw the headline?
Well, it was, what is next? It is, I cannot believe that this has happened. You cannot write a story like this, and let's just see what happens next.
A remarkable moment in American politics. Jason Perry, thank you for being with us. We do appreciate it.